The Bantrall system is not at war. Bantrall was never, until recently, a wealthy colony. The planet had resources enough to maintain its own small society, but none worth exporting. There was never any need for the corporate sponsors of its initial colonization to interfere with its administration. In the halls of Solar Union commerce, land shares on Bantrall traded for nothing. No cost, no gain. You might throw all of my land shares on Bantrall into your golf wager as a joke, or give them as a prank gift to a friend. Recently, though, there was a minor development in an obscure biochemical processing technology, and the novel features of Bantrall's ecosystem went from being a scientific curiosity to being an untapped and unknowably deep wellspring of wealth. Land shares on Bantrall are no longer an ignored asterisk in anyone's balance sheet. The handover of administration and power from the descendants of Bantrall's original Terran colonists to the newly interested legal right holders, the self-proclaimed landowners, has been cheerful, orderly, and mutually profitable. There's been a few isolated spats, of course, but there's been practically no bitter, bloody war of resistance between the displaced old Bantresh aristocracy and the off-world landowners. When a landowner uses a threat of violence to force a hereditary great family to give up their land, keeping them from on as guides and entertainers, it's cheerful. And when they offer them in exchange a negligible sum, it's mutually profitable. And when fiery companies of Bantresh irregulars respond by raiding their holdings and seizing arms and materials against future battles, and local insurrectionists give advantages upset by the forcibly occupying biochemical processing facilities, and the landowners respond with ruthless crackdowns and martial law, these are a few isolated spats. To admit otherwise would be to invite the intervention of the Terran Transit Authority's mediation and peacekeeping forces. Then no one would get rich from Bantrall but the TTA.
Nobody wants that.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to take it away because we're skipping solitaires this week because we still have unfinished business from last session that we need to wrap up. So
You
I'm
forgot
gonna...
a cards off before?
So I'm going to start with the first game. We're going to do a stealing time together with Bryn.
So I guess the question is, do you interrupt when she's in the middle of her checkup, her medical checkup, or do you wait till it's over? Like, do you watch that, or do you happen across her after she's been sedated and put in bed?
That's up to you because you get to decide how we come to be stealing time together.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I think it makes more sense if you've been searching the this. I'm gonna just call it like the state house
Mm-hmm.
for the lost girl, and um, you already went past this room, but you thought it was empty, and now you see Bryn's laying in this large bed. Uh, she's got headphones on that are like helping her meditate. I don't know if this is a normal thing on Bantresh, or if you think it's some kind of brainwashing thing. She's got her arm hooked back up, and she's in like this sheer nightgown, just laying on top of the bed, while these monitors are reading her vitals.
Okay. And is like the door left open? Do I see someone maybe coming out and I kind of duck into a hallway and watch them leave and then I investigate
Yeah, I
in and
think you
there?
see Auntie and this doctor leaving. Is it Auntie? Andy?
Hmm?
Amphi.
Auntie. Yeah.
I think I missed that. What does she have?
Amphi is Sash's brother, who I think is a doctor.
Okay. I got confused because I think amphi is also a type of breathing, um, or no, they're ambu bags. Never mind. They sound kind of similar, and they're literally the things that like they use to keep someone breathing during transports in medical facilities. So I got a
Oh,
little
which
confused.
is very appropriate to the situation.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have the doctor skill high enough to know that.
Okay. What do we notice about each other? What have we learned?
I guess you would notice that I think you come across like a notebook that Amphi left with his ideas about what's wrong with Bryn.
Okay.
And it says that she seems to have a toxic level of Bantraphyll in her system that usually is only found in minors or in people using experimental mech technology.
Okay. Um, as far as what you notice about Ray, is that he's still here. He was gonna go to the bathroom and leave, but now he's still here. So I think we get a shot of him sort of quietly entering the room, maybe a couple of minutes after Amphi has left, and looking around, flipping through the notebook, basically trying to gather information, not really concerned about doctor patient confidentiality. He's reading through all of like your medical notes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I take off your headphones, may I?
You may.
All right. We see Ray reach down, remove Bryn's headphones. I don't remember. Have I ever learned your name?
I think you know it's Bryn, but I think the medical, yeah, the medical journal would say that that's not her real name.
Okay. But I
And it would,
do know that you are Bryn. Like I
yeah,
all right.
you do.
Then that's what
Although,
matters.
she looks a lot worse. Like she isn't wearing a lot of makeup from the dinner, and they took off her wig, so you can see when you take off the headphones that like the side of her face is all red from like new flesh.
Oh, huh.
Right, pretty icky,
All right.
swollen, kind of.
Okay. I lean down and I whisper, Bryn, Bryn, are you awake?
Right. Um, and she kind of like scoots a little bit, like, well, what are you doing here?
Following up on some intel I heard. How long have you been here? You're getting medical care. Why aren't you in a hospital?
Well, it's been here since that explosion.
You were in the explosion. I didn't know that.
I, well, why? Where's Sash?
I don't know. Not here. I look back at the door. Sash doesn't know I'm here.
Oh, she just looks like really uncomfortable.
Sorry. I set your headphones down and I take it like I read the discomfort on your face and I take a step away. So like I don't want to be threatening to you. And I say I I heard that there was a girl being held here against her will. It wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
I heard them talking about a girl. I think they meant me.
Are you here against your will?
No, there's. They said they'd help me,
Do you think
but
they are helping you?
I don't know. I don't have a choice now.
It's not true. If you don't want to be here, I can get you out. Get you to a medical facility. Make sure you're taken care of.
If I leave, then she's like she stops and she's like obviously like she wants to tell you, but she doesn't trust you.
Okay.
Who are you? Why are you? All I know is you're one of Stash's friends. And I
I get
told I
a
told them
complicated look on my face when you say that.
told them I would help them if they help me hide, but all Stash seems to do is show me off to her friends.
Just consider me a concerned friend. That's all I can tell you for now. I'm not asking you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. If this is where you want to be, then clearly I've been misinformed. But I was told that there was a girl being held captive here.
Understand? No. If I go to the hospital, they'll find out, and then others will come.
I have doctors, I know. Discreet.
I don't think you have enough. My family is gravely injured, and they're in stasis.
So Sash has your family,
I have my family.
but they're here.
Yes. They're, or at least I think she knows where they are now.
I approach and I want to put my hand on your hand. May I?
You may, but Bryn's going to like grab onto it.
Okay. Bryn, there's more to me than you may think. I can't tell you the details now, not here. But I can help you. If you are being held against your will, if you are being blackmailed because of the health of your family, I know people that can get you and your family to safety. We can extract you, we can keep you safe. I'm not asking you to decide now, especially as it seems you are under some sedation. But I can give you a signal. We can keep watch on this room. And if you feel unsafe or you need extraction, you make the signal and we'll strike.
All right. I mean, I hope they're keeping their promise.
I don't know anymore. Things seem to be changing very quickly around here.
Thank you.
I just want what is best for the people of Bantrell. I am tired of seeing so many of us treated like pawns and playthings. We're people.
I want to touch your cheek, may I?
You may, but only for a moment, and then I kind of shy away from your touch.
You can probably tell I'm not from Bantrell. My father always said that you should respect the native peoples.
Father sounds like he's a good man. Doesn't matter where you're from. It matters how you're treated and how you treat others. I don't want to see anyone being used or held captive or blackmailed. It's not how the world should be.
It's not. I don't think I'm any of those things. I put myself into this situation. My my family owns some land on Bantrell. I thought I came here be a place to hide, place where what I had would be valuable.
Can't you tell me what you're hiding from? I could help you. I understand it's a lot to ask. We barely know one another.
There's this woman. Her name is Alexis. She owns this business on Earth. She wanted to marry me so that we could combine our shares. And then we would, well, she would have enough shares to represent Bantrell to the TTA. But she's done this before.
Other planets?
Other people, other planets. Her husband's always end up dead. So when father told her no, she attacked us. Made it look like it was an accident, that we all died in some kind of warp jump malfunction. But if she finds out I'm alive, she's going to come here.
I understand then. I can still protect you. If you need me to. If you're safe here and you want to be here, then I was misinformed. But if you need a place to go, I can make arrangements. I just want you to know that. There are other options. Doesn't have to be the nobles.
Thank you.
A moment. I let go of your hand and I walk towards the notebook and I flip to like the last page and just kind of very carefully rip it out. And I draw a symbol on it. We don't get to see that symbol on camera, but I draw a symbol on it. And I fold it up and then I look around and I say, I need a place to hide this, a place you can get to, but only you will know about.
Hmm. When she was looking around, there's like nothing in this room that's hers. So it has to be in this room.
It has to be a place you can get to it.
All
A
right.
place that won't be obvious.
There's probably like a maintenance panel in that robotic arm. It's like the first time she's acknowledged she has it. And she pops it open and it's like, jam it in this thing.
All right. I put the paper inside and I say, if you need to get out, you take that piece of paper, you hold it up to the window. That'll be the signal.
Okay. Thank you.
You sure you're safe here?
They're spending a lot of money keeping me alive.
I think I know why. You should get back to bed. I should not be here. We shouldn't be seen together. Because if you do go missing, you'll wonder why I was here.
You're right. I thought you left a while ago.
No, turns out I was looking for you.
Glad I know you a little bit better.
I know you quite a bit better. Anyway, I should go. Do you need help getting back to your bed?
No. She kind of stumbles a little bit, but she managed to sit back down in her bed.
Okay. I think I stay nearby anyway, just in case you look like you're about to fall, so I could do something to intervene. Like I'm kind of like
We want to get caught?
I don't think it makes sense. Like we could I think like they don't seem like they're monitoring you too much. I mean, we could roll for it maybe like a camera happens to be active or something. I don't know.
I was
Well-
just thinking that these two lovebirds were going to be much more mobile and like fall into the window or something.
But we haven't gotten to play that out yet.
Yeah,
So maybe what we should do is we should go to our stealing time together, and then we get to the end of that where we might be caught. And then
Then if it makes sense for us to catch you or you to catch us, we can
Yep,
make
that
that
sounds
happen.
good. So,
Alright.
I was gonna do one more thing. What was I gonna say?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think the last thing that Ray says before this scene ends is he goes to leave and then he turns back around and says, "I'll come check on you again."
Thank you, Ray.
And then he turns and then we'll cut there.
All right. So guess who else is stealing time together? It's us. It's not even a secret or surprise. So how did we come to be stealing this time together, Sash? As a reminder to anyone who missed last week.
I seem to recall last time So Sash and Silver have had this thing for closing in on a decade where they've been fencing rivals. And that's kind of like the basis for their relationship. But something changed just now where we were doing a fencing duel that we haven't had in years because we both graduated from university and didn't see each other again until Silver came here on corporate business.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bit of sword fighting and then maybe a bit of mask removing and kissing that we cut out on last time.
I think we were right at mask removing, so we could jump in on a I remove my mask. Do we remove our own masks or each other's mask? I think that's really the question.
Yeah. I'd say we probably remove each other's, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling this vibe.
Mm-hmm. So I can go first. I take off your fencing mask, may I?
You may, as long as I can take off yours. May
Of course you can.
Yeah. As I take off your fencing mask, I run my hand through your hair. May I?
You may. Actually, you may, but only for a minute because I think you get like halfway through the lock and then the hair starts to lock up because of how wavy it is. And then you start pulling Sash's head with it a little bit. And
Just
then
a little closer.
I grab your hand. I like grab your wrist and then slide my thumb into your hand. May I?
You may.
Sash, I think, is maybe not used to romance at all. So I think they like look around in a bunch of different directions and say, well, there has to be a place that's more comfortable than this.
This is your house. I thought you would know.
Maybe that was the answer more than a question. And I start leading you. So you know how we have like in Skyphos we have like permeable walls that keep water out.
Mm-hmm.
Solid objects can walk through them. I lead you to this like pool that you don't enter from the top and like go down the staircase.
Just walk into the side of it.
Permeable walls, and then you swim up. And it's like a hot tub sort of thing.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I begin to remove my like fencing padded armor. May I?
You may. But I guide you to this like changing area that's over to the side. I guess it's a restroom because this is a house.
It could be one or the other. This is a fancy house.
Yeah. It's like that sort of thing. Yep.
You know, I don't have a swimsuit, don't you? I haven't stopped undressing.
And I think Sash maybe like takes you to like a wardrobe where there's like probably swimsuits that don't fit because they're Sash's or like their moms. The styles are very separate and you can tell which one's Sash's and then which ones are their moms, because
Mm-hmm.
their moms are like super fancy, and then I think Sash's are just like very practical.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, and I think Silver like looks at them and is like, "No, I don't think that's gonna work. Look, as long as you've got something I can change into, uh, this'll work." And then she'll strip to her like brawn panties, which of course are a matching set, but rather um, they're rather practical, but not plainly colored. They're like um, dark blue, like her hair,
Hmm.
but they're not. There's no frills or lace or anything. They're just a uh, matching set that look fairly comfortable.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. Um, for Sash, I think um, they kind of actually I want to do this in the form of a question.
Mm.
I closed the door to change. May I?
Does this close the door between us or close us
Yes.
together in a room?
It would close the door between us.
I will allow it.
Okay.
In fact, while you're changing, I'm gonna go and just go out and get into the spa pool.
Hmm. I think you can like press your hand through the permaglass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, perma makes it sound permanent. It's not really permanent. It's permeable. So permia glass, and then
Sure.
um, the water starts at like mid temperature, which is way too cold for a hot tub. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you maybe look around and you see that there's like temperature controls.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you set the temp at?
Hmm. Probably slightly cooler than your normal hot tub because I don't want to get overheated.
That makes sense to me. So then Sash comes back out um, with like a proper swimsuit. I almost want to say a bikini
Hmm.
because I feel like that makes sense. Um, you can hear like there's that like barefoot stepping sound
Mm-hmm.
on tile, and then Sash with like a motion out as if this is like routine, just like jumps up into the air, but then halfway through they're in water and then swims
Mm.
up to the top of the hot tub. And then when we're up here in this hot tub, it's just like a normal hot tub, but there's not really like a barrier at the side to contain the water. It's more like it runs into like these fake rocks and starts making like these fake little micro rivers and leaves like this cool
That's
contour.
awesome.
Yeah, and it goes into like a beach with like kind of thick rocks, I want to say, beach rocks, and then
Mm-hmm.
like a fake palm tree,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sets up this little scene before like there's like dark gray metal behind it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Silver, not quite as gracefully, enters. I think she more like just walks in at ground level and then
Mm-hmm.
kicks off the floor to come up and will wind up bobbing to the surface right in front of Sash.
Mm-hmm.
and will kind of like swim towards her.
Mhm.
She swims towards them, and I put my hand on your shoulder. May I?
You may.
Looking straight into your eyes. This is a really beautiful view.
I was about to ask if you were impressed.
You've impressed me a lot. Over and over again.
I'm glad that our rivalry is taking a different form than it used to.
You know, we don't have to be rivals.
Oh man, what does Sash do? I think I'm almost like Sash is maybe stuck in thought about this, trying to word her or their exact feelings. And then I feel like they maybe have to speak up about this. And then they're like trying to go through different ways to play this off. And then they're like, wouldn't it be fun if we played this off publicly as the rivalry that it always was? But then this is what we actually do and who we actually are.
Does that mean I can kiss you now?
Of course it does.
All right. I lean forward and I kiss you on the mouth. May I?
You may.
That goes on for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Or so. I start to take you through the rest of the mansion because I feel like this maybe has like an auto warming feature that's a little buggy sometimes, so now it's actually starting to get kind of hot.
Okay.
Well, that's what it is.
So you're leading me through the house now?
Yep. So first I lead you to the kitchen that we were in for a second. When things were still getting set up for like dinner and Ray wasn't here yet. I kiss you in there, may I?
You may. I think it definitely involves me like sitting on a table or something, so we have similar heights because you're so much taller than I am.
Yeah. I think I maybe pulled out like a bar stool from the bar that's on the island in the center of the
yeah. And I think like when we take a short break, she looks up and she's like, "You're still impressing me, Sash."
Want to see what else I can do?
Yeah, I do.
This is where Sash is bad at romance and starts pulling out produce from the refrigerator and starts making you an incredibly fancy drink with these incredibly exotic fruits. And like there's a bottle of space tequila that comes out, and I start making you a margarita, mega.
Yeah. I think I was like going to stop you, but you seem so excited to show this drink off that I'm just like, do it. So as I'm like sitting there in my wet underpants on the bar stool.
And I'm sure like the temperature in this house is like kept kind of cold too, because this is like, I don't know, I just have a vibe that this is like kind of a big house and like they expect guests, and since guests were over, things are going to, like, the temperature is going to rise, so we're going to make things cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then we both have margarita classes, and Sash clinks your glass and takes the first drink.
Yeah, I'll drink as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is pretty good. You do have a lot of talents. I'll grant you that.
Excuse me as I cough like a million times. Hold on.
You take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. So is it really back a third time? Holy shit. Hold on one second.
You know, Sash, I'm really glad I found you here. When I came to Bantraphyll, I remembered that this is where you were from, but I didn't think I'd actually see you.
It was a real surprise that our next meeting would be face to face. At a Bantraphyll estate.
You know, the universe works in interesting ways sometimes. I'm glad it does.
Sash like quirks an eyebrow, maybe taking more meaning from that than you originally expected, and then they say, "Yeah, I believe that too."
Having only taken like one drink from my margarita, it was like a long sip, but it was just like one. I like set it aside and like slide it across the counter as I lean closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of pushing the drink away, and I'm like, as lovely as that drink is, I don't want to cloud my senses when I'm spending time with you.
I feel like we were maybe like arching over the island. So now Sash goes over counterclockwise to your side of the island, and I take both of your hands in my hands. May I?
You may.
I'm going to take you like down the hallway that Bryn's room is, because it's the same hallway that my bedroom is in.
Of course it is.
And I think we tumble kissing through this hallway.
I'm for this.
Yep. Cool.
Can I enter the scene now?
Oh yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, it seemed I didn't want to interrupt because I wanted
It's so
Yes,
good.
you did. Yes, you did.
I didn't want to interrupt too early as well.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, now it's time. And I think what draws your attention isn't footsteps or a voice or anything. It's like the clattering of a data slate as it hits the ground and slides towards your feet.
Yeah, I feel like I was about to step backwards and like land a foot on it, but like it like hits my other foot while my first foot's in the air, and so I like kind of dance away from it and away from Sash. But just mostly so I don't fall and I don't stand on this data plate, and then I'm gonna look up and look around.
Yeah, I'm just standing in the hallway, surprised.
Oh, Ray, I thought you left.
Not yet.
I kind of glance over at Sash, like,
You're not Amphi. I'm still in shock. I'm still like trying to figure out who this is. Oh, Ray, hi.
No, I'm not your brother. I walk forward towards you guys. I bend down, pick up the data slate. I don't know how good either of you are at reading expressions.
it depends on the
so,
expression.
Yeah, same here.
It's a complicated expression, but there's probably some shock and hurt in it. But I'm trying to hide the hurt.
Didn't we say last time that Sash is kind of good at reading Ray's expressions? I feel like that's a thing
We
we might have said.
did, but at the same time, you totally like you acted like you read something and then reacted really poorly to it. So
Yeah, I think that was the thing. I think Sash doesn't have very good control over their own emotions, but can read other people's emotions pretty well.
Yeah, so
especially yours.
Yeah, you could. Well, you could definitely tell that I was acting out because you're used to that. Never seen me wounded like this before, so it would like that might be actually really shocking to you to see that on my face. But I guess I'm relatively close to you two, unless you both have like backed off. But I basically walk forward to collect my data slate.
I'll like as you're walking closer, I will pick it up and I will hand it to you.
I take it without saying anything.
Ray, are you okay?
Sorry for interrupting. I turn to go to the stairs.
In this weird like game liminal space, I'm gonna do a stealing time together thing, but with Ray.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
I touch your chest to kind of stop you. May I?
I have to pull the stealing time together's back up.
It's not over yet.
You may, but only for a moment. And in that moment, I turn and look at you, and like there's just this complicated mix of hurt and kind of anger on my face, and then I break off and depart.
I like raise a hand but don't say anything.
And I think like as I'm leaving, it's like slow at first. Like I'm not running away. It's just like I like push your hand away and I start walking down the stairs. But I think as I'm getting the hallway to the entrance, you can kind of hear my footsteps speeding up gradually as I'm trying to get out of here. But I don't end for a run. It's more like storming off, but not like quite that severe.
You know what it is? You know that like speaker that rich people have to like only let people they want to know in?
Oh, like the intercom, like
yeah. Except you're leaving, but I use the speaker to on your way out, you hear like Dopplering to the side of your head on your right. You hear, "I'm not going to abandon you just like this, Ray. We're still friends."
Oh, nice. All right.
Yes. You get him back here.
Yeah, you twist the knife. You twist it good.
Yeah, I think after that I'm gonna like pipe up and be like, I never meant to hurt you, Ray.
You too. You
I
TM
am
for each other.
I'm almost imagining that there's like a gate on the intercom, but
I feel
Clover's
like
voice
Ray's
is so
out.
weak that it like the sentence cuts in and out. But I think Ray gets the gist of what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm just out.
Yep.
Outside, Ray can see like 20 stretch limos coming.
Okay.
Oh. Who does the next game?
I don't want to do the next game.
Cool.
I'm gonna meet sword to sword with Sash.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Okay.
I think so. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you what happens. So the whole Marinessa family,
Mhm.
or whatever you call it, the whole Marinessa house is coming because your parents and Amphi all agreed that this has gone far enough. You know, with you taking over the house and also with Bryn. So the Marinessa patriarch, is that your father or is it like grandpa or what do you think? Who's in charge of the house Marinessa? I'm probably saying it wrong.
Marinaza, which is like really close. I'll make this easy. I'll just say it's my dad because I don't think my granddad is alive anymore.
So Bryn's deal was actually with your dad.
Yeah.
So they all come to the house and you hear like your family talking and they're like, okay, this has gone far enough. We spent way too much money helping this girl.
Mhm.
And now she's sick, she can't fight. She can't even get her mechs. Why are we bothering? We know where the spaceship is. Let's just take the spaceship, kill everybody, and we'll make way more than what she's offering us.
Because
They're
they're gonna seize your land shares.
Yeah, like if Bryn won't help you, then maybe one of her other family will survive and help.
Oh, this
So
is
your
good.
father,
This is good setup, Golden. I'm very proud of you because this is very good because Sash's entire deal is like restoring the glory of this
right?
house and having all of your land shares
Mm-hmm.
would carve out like legal space for our family.
That because Bryn has type S shares.
Yeah.
They're voting shares. So your father, I think your father explains this to you and says you have a choice. Like the family wants blood, but you don't have to kill Bryn. It's up to you.
Cool.
So we all get put into the. You said there was a fencing room,
Yep.
training room. I think like you see your families on the upper level, and more families on the bottom level. Like it's just I think you have like a large family,
Mhm.
and I don't know if Silver or Ray stick around, but they could like overhear what your family is saying.
No, I'm not there for sure.
I probably almost like smuggled Silver out because I don't want her to be a part of this because this is really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell Silver that I'm going to leave this holding their phone in a secret place in the fencing room, and I want you to keep an eye on this video call. and you get like the sound of a video call on your phone.
Oh,
Or on your
okay.
brain, probably. Since
Yeah,
that's what
because
you use.
it projects holograph. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I
Keep an
think
eye
that's
on
the trying to put you in a position where all of your motives are conflicting.
Mhm.
So will you duel Bryn? Or is this some kind of other thing?
I want to meet sword with Bryn, and I want to play Sash's tension out through this duel that I don't think will end in bloodshed.
All right. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Bryn also has a lot on the line.
Yep.
All right. So what do we notice about each other?
Mm-hmm.
Bryn is like she's been made up again. She's in like this big flouncy dress. She has like an ornamental sword and even give her a real sword to fight with.
Mm-hmm. But I think I insisted on this and used a persuasive. Yeah, that's the word for it. I used a fairly persuading argument that I should also fight with a ceremonial sword.
Mm.
And I am like maybe even more made up in like traditional noble garb than even you are.
Sure. So we're not like in the padded armor. We're just
This is ceremonial combat with sharp swords and also no guards.
right. All right.
I should probably describe the wardrobe a little bit. I think there are very special frills along like this seam
Mm-hmm.
that come out like fins, and they're sort of like diaphanous and sheer and like have maybe multiple ruffles on them, some of which are stiffer than others. So there's like these like shoulder pads that are just ruffle coming out like maybe this high, like a vampire like collar sort of thing.
Right.
Mhm. And then there's like maybe this superfluous piece of fabric on the back, like right along the spine, that comes down like a fin and then like kind of sways like a cape or a tail.
Mm-hmm.
This is
All
like
right.
super ceremonial and ridiculous. Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yep.
I love it.
Mhm. That's what you notice about me.
Cool.
And I'm trying to keep a poker face. That's also what you see.
All right. So you don't like talk to your dad. He's just telling you.
Yep.
And then tell Bryn, no, we just want to see you fight to make sure that you still can fight and keep her on the deal. And Bryn's like, don't worry about that. I'll prove I can fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they say the fight's to the first blood, but that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So then it says, who is better with the sword? Right?
Yep.
I think Bryn's pretty good with the sword, but she's probably better in 0G, and she's not used to fighting in fancy dresses. And most importantly, she's not left-handed.
Oh.
Is she actually wearing her artificial arm?
I think she is, but she's still refusing to use it.
Just checking.
That's cool and important. I was almost thinking that you were introducing a cool detail about the Maranasa family, which is that we have a genetic trait that we're all left-handed.
Maybe you are.
So we only have like left-handed swords.
I don't know how that's possible, but okay.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, how do you make a left-handed sword?
I mean, I know you can make a left-handed gun.
I mean, I guess how the guard would be, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But there's no guards. You already said there's no guards.
That's true. So
How can you make a left-handed sword without a guard? I don't think that one works. But maybe like the dress, like there's like a flowery bouquet or something, or a shield that you're supposed to. It only fits in the dress on the left side.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I almost. Yeah, I think Sasha's better with the sword too.
Yeah. Before I might have been unsure, but after your last being sword to sword, you're clearly better.
Yep. I agree. Okay, then I need to ask the first leading question. I'm going to start this off with, to please my own family, I point my sword to your clavicle. Do you submit, or do you twist away and join the fight?
I think Bryn, when Bryn started the fight, she was like really shaky with the sword and pointing it at you. And finally, she centers herself, and her sword was like pointing straight at your heart. So I think both of you are like standing exactly like swords worth away. And Bryn is not submitting here, so she will sidestep it and start circling you with her sword pointed out. Then she pulls back the sword and thrusts at you, following through with her footsteps. And we lock swords during this. Your mouth is near my ear. What do you say?
This is your last chance to decide your fate, Bryn. And I think I say this super loudly, loud enough that the crowd can hear it. Oh, I'm probably, in addition to this garb, I'm probably also wearing my mask. My mask is back on.
I lost mine.
Yeah.
And I think Bryn replies, I'll never give up. I'll fight for my family's survival till I'm dead.
You thrust perilously close to my face. Do you cut me, and where?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I cut off like the top of your ear. Like there's like a big chunk of flesh on the floor. See your right ear. Wait, no, your left ear because this is left-handed.
I stumble backwards and I'm caught surprised, and I'm like clutching my ear and stumbling backward outside of the ring, and I put my hand back up to show the crowd, and I'm trying to see if this crowd will honor their commitment to first blood or not, since it's who has the first blood.
I don't think the crowd does. I think like whoever is moderating the duel says it's over, but nobody leaves, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they just wait to see what you do. But I guess it's Bryn's turn.
Yeah, it is your turn if you want to do something.
I was gonna say if the duel is over or not. Yeah.
Yeah, is the duel over?
Well, I just asked the question, so if that ends it, then it does. But if you have vengeance to seek, then
No,
it's
I
your turn to ask a
so.
question.
No, I think if you're submitting, then that's fine for Bryn.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll hold up her swords, like not a small amount of blood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "I claimed the first blood." I've proven I can still fight. I'll keep your end of the deal.
I let you finish what you're about to say, and I keep receding out and out of the public space. And there's a moment where people are just listening to you. What is there anything else you have to say? Or
Nothing really. I think she says, I holding you to your the bargain.
mm-hmm.
You should stop wasting time and help me save my family.
I've reappeared behind my dad's head with a sword pointed like right in his blind spot. And I say, you shouldn't make decisions for me. I thought you lived on the surface world now. And I push the end of the sword back through like the bottom of his skull, and I think the sword goes straight through his brain.
Wow. Bryn's just like staring in shock because not what she's thinking.
Bloodthirsty.
I throw my ceremonial sword back over the seats back into the ring, and I say, I intend to keep my promise to Bryn, and as I've tried to tell you several times, this is my house, get out. This is my house, get out. This is my house, get out. This is my house, get out.
Nice.
And then they finally leave?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Good game. Good game.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Now it's your game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now here's where we see where the extra 99% of the money that I used to buy this estate went. We are doing a dance in the Marinaza Congregation of the Deep that has been renovated to be the Deep House Cathedral.
Ooh.
So now we're starting to hear. So what you notice about Sash is they're doing their own.
Who's your chosen partner for this game?
I should choose that. To keep with the order, I want to go with Ray because it's a music thing, and I just did games with the other two people.
Yeah, but how the heck do you get me here?
Technically, I think you help answer that question.
Yeah, I don't know how this works though.
Maybe it's like Bryn asked Ray to like meet her again, and then Sash notices you and steals you.
that's a point. Maybe I heard about the duel, and I heard through my sources and my spies that it was an attempt on Bryn's life. And so that's why I'm here.
Hmm.
And you're just like, oh, hey, we're friends. Dance with me, friendo. And I'm just like, oh, God, not this again.
Who else is invited to this soiree?
Silver's invited, and Bryn's also invited. Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited.
Yay.
I feel like there's a little time skip, so Bryn's life going a little bit better.
Yeah, and Sash's ear has.
Sewn back on?
Yeah, I think so.
She's like a graft or they have a graft or something, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's going well because we're a doctor family. We can just, and I'm
you have
basically
money. Just throw money at it.
Yep.
We live in the sci-fi future, so yeah, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah. It's like a really easy operation now. It takes like maybe a few days for the inflammation to go down. Yeah. So yeah, we're at this cathedral, and what you've noticed about Sash is they just went through this operation. They have been really busy in the past month renovating a religious cathedral into a club. Is club the right word? I think what's the kind of space you would use, like maybe for like a convention, or like it's just like this huge space with like huge rooms that I could use for like big concerts and things like that.
Like convention space, or like
some kind of like a complex,
like a community complex. Is it something that's going to be open to the public, or is this for only your private events? Or
event hall, probably.
Event hall.
There we go. That's it.
So it's like kind of like this event hall, music hall sort of space, appropriated from a church. Yep. So Ray, what have I noticed or heard about you?
How long has it been since I walked out of your estate?
Renovations can take a long time, so I want to say maybe like we're in like the month to 2 month range.
Oh wow, so it's been a while since we've seen each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a big jump. Okay.
I feel like we had to cancel a lot of shared gigs in the interim because I was recovering and busy for a while.
Yeah.
And this is our first gig back together.
When you say gig, am I supposed to be performing at this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you have said no?
Probably. But
Ooh.
I think I'm supposed to be performing at this, and I've turned you down, but I'm still here. And maybe that's why you come up. You're like, well, why are you here? You're not performing. You're not on the guest list. Why are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've turned you down. And in fact, I think we're to the point where you expected to be offered future MC work through my my agents, and that hasn't happened either.
Cool.
Like, I don't know if you've reached out to me for like calls or correspondences. You've gotten no response. You reach through my agents, they'll talk to you, but they're like, oh, Ray's busy, he can't talk to you, he can't take your call right now, sorry. And like any direct lines, I don't answer those. And if you looked, and I don't know how much you care, but if you had looked online, you would have also noticed that my vlog has been kind of quiet for the moment. Like I would have normally put out like, I I don't know, probably like a video a week
Mm-hmm.
about like political stuff and whatever, and that's been more like more short daily life vlog type videos, like, oh well, here's we're doing this show, or we're sponsoring this charity or whatever. It's all been focused on that. The political stuff has kind of fallen away for the moment. You don't know why, but there have been lots of upheavals. And I think also the rumors between us have not died down, and neither one of us has publicly addressed them.
This is horrible. I love it.
Because definitely what's going on between Silver and Shash is on the DL, so
Yeah.
100%.
Because we're still playing out our rivalry.
But that also means that you haven't mentioned it, even though you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct.
You can't let the rivalry go
Mhm.
too long without playing it, though. You know, people will start to lose interest.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take a look at this game. Doesn't the worst dancer get to go first? Yeah, the worst dancer asks the first question. Um,
I feel like in this situation, I'm probably the worst dancer because I'm not interested in dancing with you.
alrighty, that's decisive. Okay.
I'm worst
You get to
dancer
go
by
first.
default because I'm not dancing, ergo
Yep.
bad.
That's very good. So you get to ask the first question.
Um,
And I think this can be to anyone, so don't feel free to not go straight to me. I might be busy anyway. I might still be like emceeing and DJing.
I am curious, if who did you get to replace me? Or is it just you?
I feel like this is expressive of Sash's mood with their entire life. It's just them.
Okay, yeah, sounds right. um,
Because they were kind of doing the MC DJ both thing before. So
are Silver and Bryn both present then?
Yeah. Bryn probably looks like a lot better. She's probably like actually in like club outfit, and you know, happily chatting with someone, maybe even Silver.
Okay. And Silver is definitely here, but she's definitely here in the representative of peak zenith capacity. You know, business suit and like schmoozing more than having a good time.
Um, hmm. This is gonna be to Sash.
Mhm.
Something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it?
you're in the front row. I didn't expect that. As I'm like looking out on the crowd. Um, so I'm thinking I've been thinking for like the past couple of weeks that Sash's genre of electronic music is deep house, which is kind of like it's this like um super repetitive like drums, um like ooh yeah, kind of like feminine vocals, and like a vibe of like the ocean or like being near a beach or like sipping martinis by the beach sort of vibe. Being on a boat is like what this music is usually like kind of accompanying. And I see that you're in the front row.
Okay.
And I don't think I can like disrupt my routine for that. But you notice about me that there is like recognition that flashes across my eyebrows.
Oh,
Oh my.
No, that's
then you're
no,
a robot.
You're super robot. You're like an alien robot.
Ah!
It's like so bad it's wonderful. Okay, now you sound a little bit better.
Now you sound like a person
Wow.
again.
You're a human, yay!
Mhm.
Are you sure? Okay.
I
I
mean, you
was
sound like
trying to
one.
see is it like Ray is moved up to the front because she's trying to walk around the crowd really quickly, or is it like she's actually in the front row?
I don't think Ray is in the front row in order to see Sash, no.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's where we're at now.
Um, where is this question? I was just looking at it. It's gone. Where is it? Here we go.
No.
I found it. I lose my place in the dance. Do you let me stumble or do you draw me back into the plates? I'm asking that question to Ray.
What does it look like, you stumbling?
I recognize you're there, and then I let a song go on too long, so then there's like an awkward few seconds where the last song is still echoing, and I should have moved on to the next track by now, but there's like this moment of suspense where at the beginning of the last song there was just another moment of suspense, and this is a weird part to like do this again.
Okay. I know what Ray does, but I don't know if this is letting you stumble or drawing you back into place. That's interesting. Because I think I notice that you kind of lose track of where you're supposed to be, and I know that's because I've distracted you, and so I turn and I walk off. Is that more distracting or less? Because that's gonna determine my answer.
I think that's less distracting. I think
Yeah, that's what I
since
was
you're
thinking.
away, I'm able to like break off eye contact, actually look down, and
Yeah.
then like cue up the next track again.
So yeah, I draw you back into place by GTFOing.
Yep.
But I am heading in Bryn and Silver's direction.
Okay. Does Bryn go first or does Silver go first?
Are we still going around in who's the worst dancer order?
Yeah, we can do that.
I definitely feel like Silver is a better dancer than Bryn.
Can they flip for it? They were having a dance off.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's flip for it.
Okay. Yeah, we can flip for it.
So who's heads?
I think that I'm tails again, so that Bryn would be heads.
Okay.
Okay.
That's heads.
So Bryn is the better dancer, so
All right.
goes first.
All right. If Bryn is the better dancer and I go first.
Yep.
I should probably actually look at these questions.
I help.
I don't know. Maybe they help. Okay. Ray.
Yeah.
At this moment, the dance allows me to step close to you and linger very near. Am I welcome?
No.
Just had to put that out there. Okay, I'm fine with
I
that.
think you step close. I don't know why you do this. I don't know what this looks like. Paint me a picture.
Yeah, so I think, well, you've been making your way across, right?
Mhm.
And I think that Silver has been like there's probably some like private boxes or whatever. And I think Silver is like coming out of one and sees you, and so comes up and like just kind of hangs out near you. Like she can't really raise her voice above the volume of the concert that's going on. So she just kind of like it, not quite enters your personal space so much as just hovers close by.
Um, I think what this looks like from Ray's perspective is that I'm walking very deliberately towards where I saw Bryn. I see you come out, and like you know how if you're like walking on a sidewalk and someone's walking towards you and you just kind of like sidestep them
Mm.
as if they're just an obstacle in your way.
Mm. Ouch. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I
No, good.
Ray has not had a good couple of months, I'll just say that.
Oh, Ray. I'm sorry.
I imagine you're both fashion models, like walking at each other, doing that scene. Um, what's that movie? Oh,
There's a lot of
the
butt
fashion
swagger.
models are spies,
Mmm.
and the blue steel look. You guys give each other your fashion looks.
Yeah.
Cool. I think Bryn has been living with Sash for a while and is kind of like a party girl now. And I don't know, like Silver comes and visits, and Sash and Bryn are like laughing and stuff, and it probably is kind of awkward for you two. Um, I'm going to ask Ray. Something about me catches your eye, and your look lingers. What is it?
um, I think it's two things. I think one, you're you're the fact that you're very different from the last time I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you not I guess this is like sort of two things folded in one. It's like how much you've changed. One, you're doing a lot better physically, but
Mm-hmm.
also the last time I remember seeing you, you were like working in garbage compressors and serving
Right?
food and then in hospital gowns, and now you're some party girl and I almost don't recognize you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why my look lingers. I'm like, wait, is this the right girl? No, I that's her face. And I think I'm just kind of surprised by that. And I come up to Bryn. Um are you like what's around you? What's going on at the moment?
I think Bryn was dancing with Silver, and now she's at a table with like two androids, and like they're all drinking and chatting. And Bryn has just been watching you get closer with like a smile on her face, like it's old friends.
Um okay. I Is there space to sit next to you or
Yeah, or you
okay.
could sit across from me.
I'd prefer to sit next to you.
Okay,
Just so I can kind of speak quietly and you'll still hear me. So
right.
I gesture like because there's a lot of noise and it's really loud. So I gesture to one of the chairs and then I sit down and
Yeah, I imagine like it's a booth, one of those curved seats.
oh
So
yeah.
like scooting in more.
Yeah, so like
So
maybe
you
one
can
of the
sit outside.
I like one of the androids comes out and I scoot in and then or maybe
Right.
they move to the other side or something.
Yeah, everyone like scoots over so you can sit down next to
Yeah.
me.
And I lean in to say I'm glad you're okay. I heard that your life was in danger.
And Bryn just like reaches over and squeezes your hand. Yeah, everything turned out just fine. Now Sash is in control. She's got everything set up in a couple of days. I'll have my family back and we can leave.
I look at this stage and my eyes just kind of narrow slightly, like I'm not convinced that it's gonna go as easily as Bryn is saying. And my hair has fallen in front of my ear. Do you touch my face?
I think it was like she's just looking at you for a second and like, oh, I get to touch Ray. So yes, he does. Kind of like very light touch.
I think it's an interesting scene because you're looking at Ray tucking his hair behind his ear while he's just staring at Sash.
On the big screens.
Mm-hmm. This has become a stealing time together, hasn't it?
Oh my gosh. Maybe.
Or should I do those things, or do you guys want to continue?
Well, let's talk about this together. We've done one round of 2 for a dance. Do we want to continue with the dance, or do we want to scoot into other games? Ooh, Kelsey, you're muted.
Oh, hey, yeah, I am. Well, this was going to be the last game because we have had. This is the 4th game of the evening.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I've taken my second turn in the dance, so I think it probably makes sense. Let's finish the dance.
Okay. I would go next then. Okay, I'm gonna play with this a little bit. I think in Ray's booth, Ray and Bryn's booth, there's like a video screen right behind you that's like up to this point it's been like showing like an ambience, but now we're getting to the end of the concert, so now instead of like Sash's logo being on the screen behind you and like wavy ocean caustics moving around, it flashes and then Sash's face is on every screen in the building. At this moment in the dance, I'm close to you and linger very near. Am I welcome? Because I'm literally just like right behind your head in video form.
Who are you asking?
I'll ask Bryn with this one.
And you're behind her, and she right now is just only has eyes for Ray. So she doesn't even look behind her just yet.
Absolutely fabulous.
So the fact that Ray is looking right past you at this giant sash head, is that good or bad in Bryn's mind?
It's good because she gets to stare at Ray longer.
Awesome. Okay. I get my dance question. The dance's figures separate us, and when they bring us back together, again, do you blush? Now, this question is for Sash. This is like after the show, you wind up backstage, and Silver is there. Like, she's talking to someone, and it's all peak zenith business, but then she looks up and catches your eye.
I'm totally blushing, and I say, "Hey, hey, hey! We're not sponsored by Peak Zenith."
I know we're just here at a promotional capacity.
I think Sash smiles really wide and kind of like snickers, like they kind of do this like sort of thing.
That's adorable.
Yep. So I'm like, I'm in your circle with like the representative that you're with, and then um, they're just there along with us.
They're just there. It's suddenly awkward for them.
Yep, exactly.
Beautiful.
Okay, I think Bryn gets to close us out.
Oh, I get to ask a question? All right.
Yeah. Superbly interested.
Yeah, I think Bryn's face is close to Ray's, and she says, "Haven't seen you in a while, Ray. It's really nice to talk to you again. Do you want to meet up after the dance? And do you turn slowly toward me or away?"
Um, uh, hmm. I think I turn towards you, but I don't give you the answer you want to hear.
Mm.
I turn towards you, then I just kind of shake my head and I say, I can't. I have so much I need to get done. But I will come check on you again.
If you need help, let me know. I appreciated your offer before. I know I didn't call on it, but I'd still like to repay you for your kindness.
There's nothing to repay. I'm just glad to see you're doing well.
All right. And so Bryn will give Ray a kiss on the cheek.
Ooh, complicated expression again. Like, oh, wait, what?
And then, like, holding your hand, she'll like try and drag Ray onto the dance floor. But you
No,
have
I think I extract my hand from yours. I pat you on the shoulder. I'm like, I have to get going. I'm sorry.
all right. Ray's just kind of sad.
Like, he's
Bryn's
not in a good place. He's
not
not ready
Ray.
for this right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray, he's so much trouble.
Like Bryn's trying to have some fun before she leaves Bantraphyll, and Ray's just like, no.
No, I have complicated feelings right now. I'm sorry.
That was great. Do we want to go ahead and close out with some solitaire? I know we discussed doing that before.
I have to.
Okay.
I have to.
I'm fine with it.
Fantastic.
I'm not able to go to work tomorrow, so. Sorry.
Well, it shouldn't take too long. I have mine ready. Did we want to go around in the same order, or did you want to go last, Stanny?
It's up to you guys. I think first or last is perfect for me. Either one.
Feel free to go first because I still need to think of mine.
Okay.
All right.
So we see a shot of Ray's apartment. We see an open laptop. We see a burning cigarette. We see an open pack of cigarettes that are like half gone.
Mm-hmm.
We see him. We see like a little tumbler of some sort of alcohol, probably whiskey, but we don't know what. And we see him pacing back and forth, like clearly troubled by something. Like he's got like his hands in his hair at points. I think we also see like a lot of this is silhouetted by the screen of the laptop. And then we see him take a breath and hit a button. And then the scene changes, and instead we're looking as if we're watching like a live stream. And we see like the little live notification up there, and then we see Ray's face, and he says, "Good evening, Bantrell." Or I guess I should say good morning. It's what, almost 3 o'clock now? And we can watch the view count just very rapidly spiking up. Like it started out maybe like a couple hundred, now it's in like the tens of thousands. And he gives like a little apology for being like for streaming so late, but he just had some stuff that he needed to talk about. And he says, "All right, first things first. All that nonsense about me and Sash. I want to clear the air. There's nothing going on there. Neither one of us has gone on record because we didn't want to fan the flames of the gossip. Didn't seem to make any difference. Our relationship is nothing but professional, and it's hardly that at this point. Um, hmm. Yeah, we get another like sort of silhouetted shot of like Ray like moving his finger on a screen and then swiping up a picture, and we see a picture of Sash and Silver together, and Ray says, "Because Sash has already got someone." More on that later, but first, a little bit about this woman. Her name is Silverchild. She is spokesperson. I don't know what she does for them. She's with Peak Zenith. So now we have an ex-noble and a high-ranking member of Peak Zenith in bed together. What does that tell you, people of Bantrell? Doesn't that make you worried? We have the Sash is a noble, by the way. I'm sure most of you already know that. It doesn't matter that they've been deposed. Still lives in a fancy mansion. Still pulls so many strings. Still treats the people of Bantrell as playthings for their own amusement and pleasure. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. I'm sick of being quiet. And I'm sick of people fucking around with me. Silver Childs works for Peak Zenith. They have frozen my accounts. Still not unfrozen. They have stolen thousands, millions from me. And we had a conversation. Do you know what her solution was? Become the spokesperson for Peak Zenith Bantraphyll. Tell pretty lies to offworlders. And to keep quiet about what's really going on in Bantrell. Well, I'm done keeping quiet. It ends today. You all should be done keeping quiet too.
God. I think I can go for the next solitaire if everyone else is good. Okay, go ahead.
You're muted on stream.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Let's try this again. Okay, so we get the interior of a bar. We see Silver in there having drinks and playing pool with the rest of the Peak Zenith team. And then in the background, like in another room where we can see it and it's very obvious that the Peak Zenith people and Silver cannot, is like Ray's broadcast going on. And you can see like some of the other people around like shooting glances in their direction. And then Silver and the rest of her crew move out, obviously tipsy, drunk, possibly, kind of laughing and hanging on to each other. And we watch the front of this bar as the group of them all leave off frame, and then the scene changes as it gets like darker and darker. Like the lights turn off. We do like kind of a time skip. Like everyone else leaves, the lights turn off, the screen goes completely black for just a second, and it comes back up. And in the morning, the entirety of this building has been trashed, and someone has graffitied across it. Peak Zenith, leave Bantraphyll to the Bantrash, and someone has written the top isn't good enough, and a couple of other derogatory things like don't serve landowners or you'll get served, and such like that, just completely across this bar.
Bryn, did you want to go next, or should I?
I can go next, but it doesn't matter.
I'll let you go first.
All right. So we see this setup of it looks like a hospital, but there's like a hospital operating theater, but it's like the size of a football stadium. And we see like there are House Marinasa soldiers down there with like full like riot gear, and there are like plastic walls like put in strategic locations, and above it there is just like a ton of people with assault rifles and like laser cannons, and we see some like rapid response medical team standing by, and we look over to the side and like it's this whole wing of hospitals with 7 beds. And when it's all set up, Bryn pulls out this glowing blue cube out of a leather bag and puts it on the middle of the floor of that operating room, pushes a button on the top, and then runs away. And a few seconds later, the cube expands, and there's like this whole battle going on down there. We see a family like in the middle of the battle, wearing like what looks like military dress uniforms. There's an older man and a woman and 4 other children that are all older than Bryn. And when they unfreeze, like they're in the process of falling down. There's already bullets passing through them, and they all fall to the floor. But the military team mops up the Marinessa military team wins the fight, and then the doctors can all rush in. And Bryn's just watching this in anticipation. Can I time skip? All right, so we see like a week later. Looks like everything has turned out fine. Bryn's family is alive and well. And they're on their ship, getting ready to leave. Bryn is hugging her mom. He's like, "What are you doing? Where? Well, I guess if you want to be my daughter, that's fine too." And she reaches down and hugs Bryn. Are you ready to go? We're all about to leave. We gotta get out of here before the Romanovs follow us. And Bryn rotates a ring on her finger, and a VR display pops up. It says, "I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for a reply." And you see she's put in the job application with peaks in it, and it will fade on that.
Ooh. Ooh.
Cool. So we see this is pretty short. We see just a text conversation between Sash, whose profile picture looks like their face, and someone with a revolutionary emblem as their picture. And there's 13 messages in dark royal blue bubbles, like text bubbles, and they're saying things like, "Where's the money you promised? We've been waiting for this for 2 to 3 months. We are running out of supplies." Messages that are all like this. And Sash gets the 13th message today and finally picks up their phone at the right time to reply back, and types back, "My assets have become a lot less liquid, but I still intend to keep this promise." And then my next messages are, "I had a lot of money and I lost a lot of money, stop. But now I have a lot of sources of income that are coming in, so I may be able to help you more slowly over time." And then my last message is, "I'm sorry I didn't spend all my liquid assets on your cause, but I had to take care of myself first." And then that's the end of the conversation.
So, can I propose that the end of this episode is basically a slow zoom out of that, and then there's just like literally we see protesters all around Sash's estate, and then we also see protesters all around Peak Zenith, and it's just loud and chaotic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome.
And
Excellent.
Angry. Also angry.
I have a surprise and a secret surprise for everybody. And that is I'm gonna show it to the stream. So if you're not watching the stream, I'm gonna put it in the Discord chat in a second.
Well, I'm gonna just watch the stream.
Same.
But I got some fan art of Silver and Sash.
Yee.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that's real good.
Yeah, an artist I support on Patreon.
Yes.
Drew that for me. Shazba is an amazing artist, and I am so thankful for her because this is so good. Anyway, so besides our adorable florts, we should talk about what we want to see in the future, moving forward.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
How is Sash gonna deal with their plummeting popularity in the eyes of the Bantraphyll people and their harsh criticisms of your business practices?
Excellent question. In return, I'll ask how are Ray and Sash's new rivalry going to pop up, with Ray coming in to fill this rivalry vacuum that Silver behind?
I want to know. I want to know why Bryn has applied for Peak Zenith.
That's also a good question.
I want to know if Ray will ever want to eat together with everybody again, or if she's now going to be the angry rebel, hates everybody type.
He's the angry rebel that hates everybody. That doesn't seem like his style.
He's complicated. Okay, come on. He's going through some shit right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's taking out his heartbreak on everybody.
I mean, that's his own fault. What?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying this is what's happening.
Cue the Prosy D meme of, well, why don't we just all fuck each other? Make one big fuck pile.
Exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was probably a long time ago, so.
All right.
You
Well,
don't just put everyone in one big pile. It's not elegant. You gotta shift at a time. And it can be different pairs or triplets, but you can't just have everybody.
it's gotta get that really the
What is
can't
this?
say
A harem
words.
anime?
Never mind. My joke is gonna fall
Tower.
flat if I can't say words.
There's
Yep.
no protagonist here for the harem anime. Like, it doesn't work.
Not a Jenga tower, it's a Rubik's Cube.
I mean,
That's for
technically,
sure.
I'm the only guy here, so I should be the protagonist of the harem anime, right?
I mean, yeah.
But I'm not.
You're definitely not.
I'm not normal enough. I'm boring.
We have to
Anyway.
get expert in harem animes to solve this for us. It's so back in the
We just need to introduce someone else who plays a really boring guy as a self-insert, and then
Yeah. Oh man, that sounds terrible.
yeah, they probably have to be another landowner. Because that's like they
Yep.
can't be the noble. They can't be revolutionary. That's too cool. They have to be like okay, they're like a grunt working for the landowners. So they're like the like in the mailroom or something.
Well, if any of our viewers feel like they have what it takes to play a really boring,
The most boring. All right, well, let's do some shout outs, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Drummer Boy, your name is Bruce and you're the new protagonist? Yeah, all right. Let's
All
do
right,
this.
I'm
let's look at Umbra. Literally.
All right, well, seriously, though, let's do some shout outs. First of all, I'm going to shout out Drummer Boy. Thank you so much for having made the Love&Bantraphyll theme song, which we're going to play over the closing credits. I love that song, and I'm so glad that I can use it again. So
It's so good.
it's so good. And next, who's also contributed heavily to the production of this, Astani. Tell us about you, where we can find you, and about how you made the amazing art and overlays for this.
Hi, I'm Astani, and I've made the amazing art and overlays for this show. and also designed the Queer Tales logo, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's really good.
When I'm not doing art, which you can find and support me on Patreon for that, or buy it in my store over on Redbubble/people/Estaney. I have my own Twitch channel where I do mostly gameplay streams, but I also do art streams every Wednesday. Over on twitch.tv/Estaney. You can find my schedule there. You can find all the games that I've played, and all my VODs are up there as well. So check that out.
Awesome. And how about you, Lavender? What have you been doing? Are you back from your Twitter hiatus?
Yep. I have a new thing to shout out for the first time in like years. I have another game thing that I'm working on kofi.com/darklavendervoid. I'm doing, so you know that I'm like a game designer who does like wacky experimental formats. Like experimental formats are where my bread and butter is at. If it's normal, it's boring for me to work on, at least. Not so much to play. So what I'm doing over there is you can pay me $3 and I will make you a landmark. And you might be like, okay, that sounds interesting, but what's better about it than it just being like a fictional geographical location that I just tell you about is that it is actually a functional microgame based on a like fantasy landmark. So like you could ask me a question about like, where does the ice princess live in this fantasy village? And I'll be like, okay, there's this huge monument that's a block of ice, and when you stand near the block of ice, you flip 2 coins. If you get both heads, this happens. If you get a heads and the tails, this other thing happens. And if you get both tails, then this other thing happens. And then at the end of everything, I'm going to collect all of these landmarks into one village and then sell it on itch as like a complete game that is less like one micro game and more like a bunch of micro games put together, like just like Firbrands is basically.
Yeah. This is super cool.
Yep. That's mainly what I'm working on right now.
Awesome. I definitely need to throw my contribution towards that since I support you on Patreon. I need to support you there as well or instead because it sounds awesome. All right, Golden, how about you? What are you doing these days besides hurting your back?
Lay in bed forever. Apparently, I'll become the bed streamer. Nobody on Twitch streams from bed yet, apparently, but I will be the first. Now, hopefully, I'll be better in a couple of days. Get back to work. I just been watching a lot of YouTube videos, catching up on my YouTube watch list. This went down from 100 videos. Now I'm down to 40. So I may act out of YouTube videos to watch on my watch later list, which is never thought would happen. But yeah, it's basically all I can do. I can't even write, so.
Wow.
Sucks.
It does suck. Well, I'm glad you could join us for this stream. And
yeah, we could be getting back to Stars Without Number at this time in this time slot on my channel next week or the week after. Pretty excited about that because we're going to do love letters because we haven't played for a month.
Those are always fun.
There's a skill in Stars Without Number called Connect, which is basically the skill you get to represent people that you know or people that you can find that will support you or do helpful things for you. And I maxed that skill out.
Nice.
And I told them I'm just using it constantly over a month to get a Starfleet of my own. But hopefully I'll be the proud owner of a strike fleet in 2 weeks.
Nice. Very nice.
And I'll conquer the sector.
Good
yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone once again for coming out. And again, I'm Kelsa. This is, of course, my channel. You can find me on Twitch and on YouTube. It's Kelsa Delphi. On Twitter, I'm just at Kelsa. We usually play this on Mondays, but due to a schedule conflict, we are doing it on a Sunday this week. You can always catch the VODs on YouTube if you've missed them. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the awesome theme song for this ending. So, good night, everybody.